What's up, everyone? This is Retro Gamer Ranting. I am Twitch Hessrf, and welcome back to another rant where I start off on one subject, and by the end, who knows where I'm going to be. But hopefully I'll be entertaining in the process. Let's talk about the future of gaming. Why? Because it's been in the news, everyone's debating about the next-gen consoles, whether or not people will be able to buy used games anymore, if everything's going to be digital download, or microtransaction, or whatever. And, I don't know, I've been wanting to rant about this for a while, and I just never really... Every time I'm about to rant about it, something new comes out. Recently, Yahoo Games, yes, I know Yahoo Games, the definitive source for anything game-related news. But anyway, there was an article on Yahoo Games. It caught my interest, basically saying that this could be the end of the $60 game. Long short of it, I'm not going to go into it, but it basically just said that gamers aren't buying, you know, besides the really big AAA titles, most people are actually buying stuff for their smartphones and iPads and Androids for like $1. Games like Angry Birds and Cut the Rope and that kind of stuff. And independent games, the ones that are usually from $5 to $10, at very most $15 to $20. And there's actually been a steady decline in gamers buying the $60 game. Now, the developers, their whole thing about games being $60 is, oh, well, it costs more to develop these games now, so we have to do that. But they also are kind of in the fault here, and I think this is, in my opinion, why gamers are getting sick of paying $60 is, one, our economy, you know, it isn't as crap as it used to be, but it's still, people are really getting sick of all these AAA titles coming out, and they're all being $60. And another thing, and I'm going to go back to this, DLC, I know, I already did a rant on that, go back on my last rant and listen to that. People are getting sick of big-name developers like EA and Capcom releasing like a $60 title, and then releasing all this DLC with extra characters and extra missions and stuff like that, and you ultimately start spending, I don't know, $70, $80 or more on something that you already paid $60 for, so it doesn't feel like a complete experience anymore, and that's pissing people off. So here's why I think people are jumping on the bandwagon for the independents. One, independent games, I'm going to say right here, and I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know if everything's going to turn digital download, if we're going to get rid of physical discs altogether. I don't know if everything's going to turn into microtransactions. I don't know. But put your faith in independent developed games, because those are the future. Those are the games where the developers are putting their heart and soul into their product, and that's what gamers are finally realizing, and that's why they're always doing that. So picture this. A lot of people have trouble with DLC, right? You pay $60 for something, and then DLC comes out that adds more to the experience, and you're ultimately paying the $70. But if you buy an independent developed game on Steam for $5, $10, you're still getting a complete experience. Like, you know, you get like Orcs Must Die or Dungeon Defenders. And then it's not quite as bad DLC-wise if DLC comes out for this independent game, because you only spent $5 to $10. So even if you buy all the DLC, you're still maybe, I don't know, you paid $20 for the game in full, and it's still cheaper than if you paid the $60 for a full game, and then you buy all the DLC for that, and you're up to the $100 mark for a game, for these supposed AAA title games. Well, the big name developers are just looking for your pocketbook and pretty much ignoring the fans. Independent developed games, and independent developers, I should say, are actually trying harder because they have so much more to lose. They're listening to the fans, they're trying to put a product out there, and yeah, arguably a lot of these independent games aren't going to have the top-notch graphics. There are a lot of them out there that do still look gorgeous, like Hard Reset, which is a gorgeous-looking game, but there's still the fun factor there. A lot of these independent developers are basically trying their best to put something new and fresh out there that you're not seeing from the big-name developers. Look at games like Braid and Limbo and World of Goo. A lot of these games kind of still have their roots in classic games like Mario and Zelda, but they add new twists to it and add new elements to it that you just don't really see anymore. And so people feel like they're seeing new things, they're getting new things. And I guess when it comes to the future of gaming, that's sort of the best way to follow. Everything else is just up in the air. You have people sitting here going, oh, well, games in the future are pretty much going to be practically free or kind of cheap, but There'll be microtransactions you can do to get a little further in it. Yeah, look at a game like Gotham City Imposters. You can get that for like 15 bucks on Steam. You can play it and upgrade your character naturally, or if you want to, you can actually spend some money and get more experience, unlock a gun early or something like that. Or you can look at these new recent free-to-play first-person shooters of excellent quality. I've been addicted to these games considerably since they came out. Tribes Extend and Blacklight Retribution, which are completely free-to-play. And yes, if you don't want to put any money in it whatsoever, they're still completely able to play. It just takes a little longer to get some of the better stuff, but if you want to open up your pocketbook, you can spend money on it and get stuff a little earlier. And digital download, that's basically going to happen. I don't know. I mean, maybe, maybe not. Maybe there'll still be some physical disc here and there. But digital download, Steam's been doing it for a while. It makes the developers happy because a lot of their older games that are on Steam, they're getting money for again instead of people pirating them or buying them used. And you're going to see consoles sort of jumping on that bandwagon. They're going to be doing that. And chances are they're going to make it so it's going to be impossible for you to play used games. That's one of the other possibilities. It's going to be a mix of everything. You got one person sitting there going, oh, it's going to be all digital download. Oh, no, it's going to be all microtransactions. Oh, it's going to be a mix of all that. But the main thing is it's the big name developers are the ones trying to scratch their head, trying to figure out how they're going to milk people for everything, how they're going to screw people over, the EAs and the Activisions of the world. And, those are the people you got to watch out for, because they're going to take things like the free-to-play microtransaction game and they're going to corrupt it like they did the DLC. What makes a good free-to-play is a game like Tribes Extend or Blacklight, where if you are on a budget, like me, and you really can't afford that game, maybe you can put 10 bucks in or whatever, and you're going to spend very little to no money on it, you can still have an enjoyable experience. And you can still eventually unlock some good stuff. You just have to be diligent with it and play it every now and then. Then you're going to have the gamers who will want to invest money. They're like, well, I'd pay full price for this game anyway, so here, I'm going to put 50 bucks on this game and unlock a few things early. There's those kind of people too. Though what makes a good free-to-play is it caters to both sets of gamers. Now, the problem with that in the future, if all big name developers decide jumping on that bandwagon, is you're going to get that DLC dilemma that I was talking about, where they're going to start purposely leaving out good stuff that the people who are more willing to open their pocketbook will be able to get, versus the people who got the game for free or maybe just paid 15 bucks for it. I still think people are going to end up having to pay for these games. It's just going to be on a cheaper base. Again, kind of like Gotham City Imposters, which are going to be like 15 bucks. So it'll be these little itty-bitty microtransactions that kind of nickel and dime you, and ultimately you could end up paying 100 bucks on a game versus the 60, so it could turn out to be a negative thing. So that's kind of what the whole microtransaction thing would be. So that's kind of how it looks like at this point. Personally, the big box stores, they're going to worry about stuff like this. Oh, we're not going to have any product to sell. I say put kiosks in these stores. If it's going to be digital download only in the future, put kiosks in your Walmart and your GameStops or whatever, and make it so you can come in with a little SD card and you can plug it into this kiosk and you can buy a game and it'll instantly download on that SD card. Then you can leave and go home and plug it into your system and have it immediately. For the big box stores, there's your solution. Have little kiosks there. So if people don't want to sit there, and even if people who do have the internet, so they don't want to sit there and wait for the thing to download, maybe they have a slower connection, maybe they can just go into the store, plug it in, have it instantly download, and then run home. Maybe it'll take less time than waiting for something to download. I don't know. That's just another option. I'm not sure. So I don't know. Will it be all free to play in the future? Digital download? Will it be microtransactions and tons of DLC? Are we going to see the end of the $60 game? I hope so. I'm not a big fan of it. I never have been. One of the reasons why I chose to go with Wii during the whole console war when it happened was because at least it was still $50 games brand new instead of $60. I know there was a $10 difference, but whatever. But all I know is Steam it's flawed. I'll agree Steam is flawed, but it's a great template for the future. And honestly, as long as these Microsoft and Sony realize if they're going to go digital download, they have to be like Steam. They have to make sure they are true to their customers and they don't screw them over and be a good digital download service, unlike EA's Origin, which has already screwed over fans from what I've heard. But Steam at least gained the trust of their fans and are doing everything in their power to make sure that they keep them there. But whatever happens, support the indie games. There you are. Just support the independent developers. They are the future of gaming. They're not going to screw you over. Those little dollar games to $5 to $10 games, ultimately they're going to bring you the most enjoyment because these people put more time, more effort, more heart and soul than some of these other big name developed ones. So there we go. There's my rant. All over the board as usual, but hey, that's the future of gaming to me. How do you think the world is going to change once the new consoles come out? Do you think we're getting rid of the physical disc? Do you think developers are going to finally smart up and lower the prices of their games, or is it just going to get worse and more expensive? Leave your comment down below. I love a good debate. I love hearing from you guys. And don't forget to rate. Don't forget to subscribe and fave if you haven't already. That stuff puts a big smile on my face. It gets my video out there. I do these videos for you guys. And the more I know that you guys are enjoying it, the more I enjoy making it for you guys. So until next time, game fans, keep playing, and thanks for watching.